Hey guys, I'm back doing some Phrecia 2.0 Ultimatum farming today. I've been doing this for a few days now using bribing scarabs, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Ultimatum for anybody who might be interested in getting into it. I just came across on round 5 a 2 divine reward, and figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about some of the builds that might do well in Ultimatum and how my build has been doing with it. So far I have Blistering Cold 3, this Totem of Costly Might, and then this one is Precise Monsters is kind of what prompted me to make this video. So basically monster hits cannot be evaded. This is obviously not a downside for a build that is already not evading any hits, maybe like an armor build like what I'm playing, and I've selected the Keystone passive to not be able to evade already. So for anybody who has not tried Ultimatum, maybe because it's seemed intimidating or very dangerous, I think there are certain builds that do well here, and I wanted to give some tips maybe to help you try it out maybe in 3.28. So right here, so I'm playing Behemoth right now, so you'll see this one, your auras that affect allies and also affect enemies. Well, I'm not playing any auras, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one, and this does absolutely nothing to my build and how I'm gonna progress through this. And as you can see, I'm playing a cyclone build, right? A shockwave cyclone build, fire variant of it. So this one right here, I used to have hinder immune on the mastery. Right now I don't think I have it selected, so I'm gonna pick something else, I think. But if I would, I probably do want to switch back into that so that I can, if I'm going to heavily farm Ultimatum for the next few days. And then basically half of the rounds that I'm going through this, it's doing absolutely nothing to me. So here's another example. Before, when I was playing Tectonic Slam, I was using Life Tap on everything. My Leap Slam and on my Tectonic Slam, I was running Life Tap, so I had no mana costs. And this did absolutely nothing to my build. Right now, this is going to do something to my build, but I'm still going to take it because I'm not spending a lot of mana, and I can just kind of regen through this. But I guess I'm working on compiling a list here for you all of things you can work into your build that can help just survive all of these downsides, and ones that would like just be a non-issue for your build if you build around it. So I don't know, like, so in my opinion, Ultimatum just seems to work better with armor builds that are not trying to dodge or evade, and also critical strikes is the other big one. They're gonna have downsides that say all of your enemies' hits are critical strikes. Well, if you have full crit damage reduction, 100% crit damage reduction like this build has, then you can easily click that and fear nothing. Same goes for if your hits can't be critical strikes against them, then if you're playing Resolute Technique, then you're not affected as well. Things like that. So this is some obvious stuff, but there may be some people out there who have been interested in Ultimatum and just haven't gotten started with it, so I just wanted to point it out. I'm just going to get out of this map and fire up another one just so that people can see some of the other modifiers that you get, because we definitely didn't get all of them in that run. And I'll just see if I can get maybe a better example of where and when my build will work. Actually, let me go ahead and do so this is the you cannot be maimed and hindered. I'm just gonna uncheck something like this that I'm not even using. So now I'm hinder immune, so if I get that, I'm definitely picking that. The get hindered on flask use, I'm definitely gonna be looking for that and hoping to get that one. I'm looking for monster hits can't be evaded. I definitely want that one. I want the crit. On this build, I'm running 8 endurance charges, and then I get from this Lethal Pride, I'm getting 10% reduced extra damage from critical strikes and 10% here. So with the suffix here from Essence, that's 100% reduced extra damage from crit. Okay, so these are not, all of these can do something to me. I hate taking Stalking Ruin on round 1 because I'm very bad at dodging it and it always stacks up really fast on me. This is okay if you have a high damage build, in my opinion. My damage is just kind of mediocre right now, so I'm going to go with this because I am pretty strong on fire. I'm like 90% fire, so this is one of the least scary ones for my build. I don't mess with that one. I'll take Stormcaller. One thing to keep in mind when Stormcaller is if you have like a small arena space here, like right now, they can take up a large amount, especially when you get to higher levels like Stormcaller 3 and 4. You're going to quickly run out of space to maneuver, so it helps to play a build that can stand still, like my Tectonic Slam build before was getting armor while being stationary per second, and that worked really nicely for the Stormcaller rune downside because I didn't have to, I can just find a place to stand and now it's done. But these skull fire things do hit pretty hard. Like if I stand still right here and let it blast me, it'll start to do pretty big chunks of damage. And because the arena here happens to be small, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'll show you how much damage it can hit for. Like, yeah, that's dangerous. I'm going to start moving now. So that's about the limit of what my build can take. So this one would mess with me because I'm currently playing Mana Leech. So at this point, now I'm looking for a gap for me. I'm just going to cyclone back and forth right here, hopefully dodging the skull fire blasts. Totem of Costly Might. I'm not quite sure how this works exactly. I still don't fully understand it, but it seems to power me up as well as the enemies, which I'm fine with, especially when like the rares are like tanky and you say your build is lacking damage. This can help you be able to clear out rare monsters that are about to get enraged because they've been out there for so long. That's one of the unique things about Ultimatum, is that the monsters will enrage after a certain amount of time. So here's Precise Monsters, love that. Let's take that. And obviously here I'm at like round 8 or 9 or something now, and it's getting much more dangerous for my build and me. Like they can actually hurt me here. So I'm playing Survive. I chose to, with my idols, to have a higher chance to just survive, and now for round 9 or 10 I can just do a runaway strategy rather than trying to fight really powered up rares if need be. So let's see this one. This is the one I was talking about. Your critical strike chance is unlucky. Doesn't matter when you're playing Resolute Technique, and monsters take 50% reduced extra damage. Doesn't matter because we're never going to be critting. So perfect example of another one that you can easily select when you're playing Resolute Technique build. I'm going to go Vol Molten Shell here to just try to survive for a few more seconds. Like, I think it's really those skull heads that are doing a ton of damage. Okay, so now we're at round 10. There's very little chance that this thing, the Stalking Shade, is going to get 7 stacks of Ruin on me, so I'll go ahead and select this now. I'm not afraid to pick it at this stage. So I'm just going to keep kind of kiting back and forth, and there we have it. 10 rounds. And let me just pop out of here again. and I'll show you what the bribing does. So ultimate encounters grant rewards as though you completed 2 additional rounds. I think that's really powerful, and you can use 2 of these scarabs at the same time. So I guess that adds up to 4 additional rounds. And let me see if I can showcase how good the loot can be in this when you're running 2 bribing scarabs. I'll do another one, and let's see if we get a divine. Like I seem to be finding divines like every few ultimatums that I'm doing, which to me is surprising because this is my first league or event doing ultimatum like this since the Ultimatum League. I've never really tried to like use a scarab strategy for this, and I'm actually thinking I might do a build myself for 3.28 around Ultimatum. As you can see, I'm running like no rarity, or it's not, my map is not rare, my map is just a white normal rarity map, so that I don't get extra modifiers that will make the Ultimatum more difficult. That obviously comes with the downside of you don't have as much going on when you're in the map. There's less pack size, less rarity, and quant. So, alright, here we go. I like to clear out the surrounding area of my Ultimatum arena, like right here. I don't want like stragglers to creep into my Ultimatum arena mid-Ultimatum and just like have the risk of ruining it for me. So, alright, so we cleared the map. Let's see what we got. So block. So obviously, I think most of you know that you can overcome block with one of the attack masteries. Monsters cannot block your attacks. If you have one of these selected, this is not going to do anything for you. I don't have that selected, but I'm still going to go ahead and take it because I like that better than the other choices. Okay, there's our good one. Monsters can't be evaded. Alright, we're into some chaos. Okay, so this is a good one. Monsters suppress spell damage and gain 500% increased evasion rating. We're playing Resolute Technique. We don't care about their evasion. And suppress spell damage, we don't care because we're playing melee. So that's a beautiful thing for us to pick here. And I am just going to Cyclone around. I like Cyclone because you're constantly moving. Okay, we have Hindering Flasks now. So right now we have 3 in a row that do absolutely nothing to our build. This is a good example now, finally. Now I'm going to be hitting my flasks are going off automatically, but I'm not getting hindered because I have that mastery selected. And pretty awesome. Okay, this one, I like this one. I'm playing Ralakesh boots, and they're not going to take away my endurance charges. I'm not playing any power charges. I'm not playing any frenzy charges. And I also can't lose my brutal charges from Arn's Anguish because it doesn't say that that's going to happen. I mean, let me just test that, but I don't think that the brutal charges drop off. Nope. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Where are my brutal charges? I lost them. I'll take the crit one. Okay. This one, I have curses, but you haven't seen me use it once yet, and I don't really need them for this. But so I'll go ahead and select this. And this is simple. I'm just holding down right click right now, just doing some positioning, dodging some stuff, but really not difficult at all. So here's a choice. You can go either Blood Altar, which is going to close up, make the center of the arena dangerous for you, or Choking Miasma, level 2. It's starting at level 2, by the way, because I'm using idols that, rather than it starts at the next higher tier, and it increases the reward as well, because I'm starting at level 2. But this is still not that bad. It'll chase you slowly, but the Miasma is not too big or too fast or anything. Generally at like level 4 or something, it does start to get a little bit, you know, sketchy. So, okay, we're at round 9. Stalking Ruin has popped up here. I think I'm comfortable going with that in round 9. I think it's unlikely that it will stack me up 7 times before the end of round 10. So let's see. And there's a Divine Orb, inscribed Ultimatum. Cool. So there's our Divine. I was hoping to get raw Divines, but I'll take it. But let's secure it before we get too excited. I'm still playing around with Frozen Legion right now, trying to do a little combo build on my Cyclone. But so that's it. A little Ultimatum showcase. I'm having fun with it on this Cyclone build. I'll show you guys a little bit of the build. I haven't done a video yet on what I'm playing build-wise, but I'm doing Cyclone of Tumult in my Marohi Urki so that I can use Shockwave, and I'm using Pulverize and Melee Fizz Dam to reduce my attack speed even further so that our attacks are down to let's see, we got 1.4 attacks per second. When we ramp up to 5 stacks, we're at 3.6 attacks per second at stage 5 Cyclone, and that's, you know, pretty low attack speed for Cyclone. So that, you know, the reason I'm doing that is to get the best value out of my Shockwave support. And then right now I'm just running Fire Pen and LE damage. I'm gonna get hopefully the Awakened version of this. I'm just kind of messing around right now, figuring out what upgrades I want to do. I'm running this, so the damage on this build on Behemoth is coming from armor stacking, number 1. It's coming from Rage. I got like 67 Rage. That builds up pretty quickly. And then, so because we're a Behemoth, can't play auras, but what you can play is heralds, and I'm running Herald of Ash, Herald of Purity, Blood and Sand, and I'm buffing the Herald of Ash effect by 50%, which is kind of, I think it's pretty decent. Like getting like 30% of your fizz as extra fire damage right on this one Herald, and then I'm getting 10% fizz as extra fire, bringing it to like about a little over 40 from this ring, and that's almost like what Hatred would give you in cold damage. So I'm pretty okay with that. And then I think it makes sense just to go all in on fire, so that you can, you know, penetrate fire resistance. I'm thinking about getting out of Avatar Fire so that I can inflict some type of, or deal some lightning damage and get some shock on this build, but that would require me to, because I can't run a Watcher's Eye for Anger to get like 40% fire conversion, I would need to get like 60% on my gloves here, which is doable, I think, but it would be expensive to get the perfect implicit, and it's going to take me, it's going to be expensive to get the, actually, it may not be expensive to get the suffix, or I think you might just be able to craft it on. Okay, yeah, so you can craft on 25 as a prefix. I would lose armor or life. I I probably would buy a different base because this has fractured armor, which I don't love. If I'm going to do this, and then the implicit would give me the other 35%. I think a perfect implicit, which would be very hard to actually get, I think. Anyway, this was not about that. This was supposed to be mostly about Ultimatum, and I hope that somebody out there gets inspired or motivated to do some Ultimatum in 3.28 and ends up having a ton of fun and making a ton of currency doing so. Let me know if you guys have that experience. I'd love to hear that it's working for you and what your builds are that you're using for Ultimatum. And the recent announcement just came out about 3.28, so I'm definitely very excited about that. And so let me know what you guys are thinking about your builds for 3.28. If you have any ideas, or I'll definitely share some things that I come up with or what I'm thinking about playing in the coming weeks. So I'll see you guys again in the next video.